Okay, we got 7:02, and this meeting will be called to order. Let's stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Our Father, we come before you and we thank you, Lord, for the day and for the blessings of life. We watch you care over us. We ask you to be with this council as it deliberates on the matters before it tonight. Be the citizens of Overton and give us all the patience we need during these trying times. Just uplift, encourage, and guide us in all we say and do. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
For the public forum, each individual will be allowed 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to speak on posted agenda item must complete a speaker card with his or her name and address and must identify the agenda item for which she would like to speak. A speaker card must be presented to Lori Casimir or Connie Chastain. Couldn't remember your name.
It's okay.
Interim city secretary prior to the meeting so that speaker may be recognized by the chair at appropriate time. Speakers will each be allowed 3 minutes time period to provide comments regarding the posted agenda items for which the request to speak was submitted and may speak before or during council's consideration of the agenda item. Please be advised by law, city council may not respond to any comments or questions asked of them by a speaker for items not listed on the agenda. Any response by a member of the city council or staff is limited by Texas law to a statement of specific factual information. The recitation of the existing policy or proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a future city council meeting. First one is Michael Baskerville. What's it?
He was just a minute ago.
Okay, you go. He had filled out a sheet last week, and evidently we have not found the sheet. We want to speak about the swimming pool and other items, so we'll give him opportunity later. Dale Grandstaff.
I'm 93 years old.
Dale, if you'll stand in front of the mic and present it, because we got to pick
I'm
it up on it.
93 years old.
And
I have
tell us your name and address. That's for her records.
my name is Dale Grandstaff, 302 Hansel Road. I've lived there 66 years. I have 3 grown children and a grown grandchild. 3 weeks ago, I met with him to divide, while I'm alive, to divide our property. I cannot do it because the city dug up and stole and hauled off my property in the corner. 56 days ago, I met with Shane and Curtis, told them I could settle it real easy if they would get Jackie. Shane will confirm it. 56 days ago, I said, if you will get Jackie Lacey to shoot my corner from the satellite, it won't cost hardly anything. Then I can sell my property and divide it. I have not heard from him. If I have to, I will have to file theft charges against the city of Overton.
Mike?
Can I continue?
Yes. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Yeah, I noticed you were. I told Shane and Curtis, since Overton actually dug up, stole, and hauled off my property, they dug up my corner, which is a serious state felony. I said, if you will have Jackie Lacey to shoot from the satellite and put my corner, everything will be all right. If not, I'm gonna have to go, I live in Smith County. the lakes in Smith County, I will have to file theft charge with the sheriff's department and the district attorney, then that's gonna involve the attorney general in Austin, and I'll have to hire a lawyer. I don't know what that'll cost. If you will shoot, I told Shay, it was 56 days ago, I have not.
I know we're not supposed to speak, but can I speak?
If
Got a
something,
second.
if you wanna make a statement of fact, Shane, we
Okay.
have some facts that would respond to that, certainly you can do that.
Okay, I have called Jack Lacy's office 3 different times. I've called Jack Lacy's office 3 different times, and they have not returned a call
We
yet.
have-
So I'm
we
still
have
trying.
time, Richard.
What do you want me, if you were in my, can you see the dilemma I'm in?
Yes, sir.
Well, we've got it arranged to
So
pay
what-
for it. We
I
have-
trust what you say.
Yes.
What should I do?
Just, if I can get Jack to call me back, or get his office to call me back.
See, it would cost very little,
Right.
because he could shoot that corner from the satellite, and I could distribute my property with my air.
Yes, yes.
You tell me you'll do it, and that's good enough.
I'm trying to, if he'll call me back.
Let me know.
Yes.
James Alexander,
During the agenda point, Mr. Mayor.
okay? Remind me about it, I'm
Sir.
forgetful. Gene Keenan, Public Services, did I pronounce it right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You did well. Half my teacher growing up never could say it right. Honorable Mayor, Council, and staff, I'm Gene Keenan with Republic Services. I'm here tonight to present a check to the city for $1,000 for the 4th of July event. Republic Services likes to give back to the communities that we serve. And I know the fireworks is a big deal in Overton. It's always a good show. So I just came here tonight, so it's on record that I'm bringing this and presenting it to you.
Thank you, sir, appreciate that. Denise Hill, did you wanna wait till the agenda item? Okay. Not me. Okay. This time we have a presentation by Prothero Wilhelm and Company for the 2016 audits.
Thank you, Mayor. Each of you should have received an executive summary of the audit report. And then in addition, I've given you the actual copy of the audit report as well. But really what I want to do tonight is just summarize some of the findings related to the report. Included in the report was a governing board letter, and that's required communication as auditors to you to let you know kind of how the audit went. Obviously, it's been a long time coming as well, but we are pleased to report, to present this report tonight. Some of the major items in that governing board letter relates to kind of high level. One of them is disagreements with management. During the time of performance of the audit, please report that we did not have any disagreements. Difficulties in performing engagements, obviously, we're here, a good amount of time, later than anticipated. And as we've discussed, Chris was at the meeting as well, when we were presenting kind of an update, related to just the amount of staff turnover that, management has had, and also on our side as well, that kind of delayed, the performance of the audit. The other item in that summary too relates to just the amount of audit adjustments that we had to prepare in order to issue an unqualified opinion or unmodified opinion. Those are listed out for you as well. And I really do want to recognize Connie, because really the engagement could not have been completed without her assistance, and also David Godwin, CPA. And so once Connie got into the game, things moved rather quickly, and we were just like, Connie, I can't say enough about the job you did in helping us complete the engagement. I know it's kind of long awaited, but we're real pleased to present the report. So thanks to you, Connie. As far as the audit report goes, and this is probably the most important, is we've issued an unmodified opinion, and that means that the opinion, that the financial statements are fairly stated in all material respects, and that's exactly what you were hoping for. It took us a while to get there, but I'm pleased to report that we did get there. As far as financial highlights, 2016 was a rough year for the city. If you look at that executive summary, you'll note that the fund balance was a deficit balance of about $181,000. And thank goodness for the water and sewer fund, because that had a overall net position of 1.4 million. You know, it's been carrying the city for a while. And so basically, even though the general fund operated at a deficit, transfers were made from the water and sewer fund to be able to support the operations of the city. And then the next page, if you'll take a look at that, that relates to a disclosure on page 46. Because of the results of the operations in 2016, management and council at that time said, okay, we need to do something about it to free up cash flows. And I've summarized that for you in the executive summary. And it's basically what council and management did is they restructured the debt. And that was huge for 17 and going forward to be able to free up cash flows for the city. So that was accomplished in 2017. Other than that, we have another report that's at the back of the audit report, and it's internal controls over, or report on internal controls over financial reporting. That's reflected on pages 52 through 55. And there we present our findings, our recommendations, and also management's responses. And so you have those out there before you. We've talked through those, provided good responses. And so that's basically all I have related to the audit report. Yeah.
Does David Godwin, does he have everything now that where he can move forward so we can get started on?
Yeah, Shane, that's a great point. You know, David's been a big player in helping the city in prior years, and now he's going to take the reins as auditor. And then, as I've told the mayor, that we're going to provide to David everything that he needs plus some to get the audit up and running. Matter of fact, he's already contacted our office as well. And so that, I think y'all have plans to get 2 years completed.
Yeah.
And so I'm very optimistic because of Connie's diligence that she'll hold David accountable and vice versa to get those completed. But whatever assistance we can do to facilitate that, we're definitely going to. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Okay, item 6, we have requested council to hear and discuss or take action on a request from Alan Cook to connect to Overton Water.
Alan Cook, I have some property on County Road 132, which is not quite in the city limits, just, I think, just barely out. And wanting to come in, and I've already talked to Randy Galt, and gonna build a county road through it, to the backside of it. It'll take a year before they take over the road, along with specs and everything passed, which that'll be fine. So I already talked to Vernon Hughes about, possibly laying that water line. We got permission across his property. He's fine with that. Talked to another landowner that I had to go through to get to my property, and he's fine with that. So talked to a guy other than James at the City of New London. Actually, I was asking him another question, and he answered mine before I really asked him. And he said a 4-inch line will service 100 homes. So that was a good question. If I complete all this, it'll be at the most around 27 residents. So it's a chance for bringing revenue in for the city, for the water, and possible growth, and for not really so much to develop it, but to put the road in, have a power and water in, where then I can sell 2 acre tracts. And I've already have a company out of Tyler and out of Henderson's already, committed to purchase it. It'll lease 12 acres. And, they'll come in and with houses that range from anywhere from 250 to 300,000. You know, and not to say that I won't sell all of them to them, but that's what they're gonna bring in these communities. So, that's what, I don't know where we need to go with this, to, you know, see if I get a line that I can lay would cost the city $0.
Understanding that if Overton takes over this line eventually,
Yes,
you'll do it through the line and according to specs to meet our standards.
yes, sir.
So, okay.
Yeah, whatever it takes to meet y'all's standards. You know, like I said, I did just talk to James about that, because I didn't have that information, how much was size of the line that I did need,
Okay.
even for future growth, you know, for somebody else. But, if we have 100 homes out in that area coming into, we're in a boom.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's bringing new revenue for our town, it's bringing new revenue for the school, for everybody. We start bringing in new residents in, and hopefully some good people.
Okay.
I don't know how to proceed with that, but
That would actually bring in, so you would have the city would take that line over, like, when Allen lays it, going down to there, they get the street built and all that, the city would actually take it over. So it becomes the city's property, the lines will, from that point on, so then, you know, it'd be ours, or it'd be the city's.
about 2,600 feet of pipe or line that I would need to lay to get to the backside of my cul-de-sac, you know, to be able to service everything.
And we got, the city of Overton, they got, well, there's 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 inch, well, not 12, but 4, 6, 8, 10 inch lines all over. But there's a lot of 2 inch lines that serve lots of homes. You're not supposed to have it 10 on each, for a 2 inch line, not supposed to have like 10 homes on a 2 inch line, but, there's 4 inch lines that serving whole neighborhoods right here, you know. So it basically just be seeking council approval to move forward with what this would be.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Excuse me, we have a motion approved by Mr. Thompson, motion second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? Discussion.
What do you plan on doing with sewer?
Sewer ended up being a road system, what they'll have to do, unless, you know, you might want to do road system, but most deals and situations like that, they all have to come in with a road system. Unless somebody comes in and buys, you know, 10 acres from them, 5 acres, 5 lots, or 5, however you want to say it. 10 acres, they don't have to, but everybody has to, do it just like in Florida or anywhere else, you want big neighborhoods, they all have a road system.
And they'll, we'll have to get the state requirements on the fire hydrants,
Okay.
you know, where, probably at the road or wherever, and maybe talk with the fire department, just kind of include them in on it, but.
Yes.
But, all that. It bring more to Oakland.
It'll bring more revenue, it's gonna bring hopefully some really good citizens into the town, and, you know, and, we can send some more residents in here, send some more, definitely good people. We'll keep the bad ones out.
That's right. I know somebody over in the corner will do that.
Any other discussion? Anyone? All those in favor, raise your hand. Opposed, like sign. Motion passes 3-0. Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all.
Looking forward to working with you.
Yes, sir, thank y'all.
Okay, assistant customer request, Larry Dowden has submitted letters for request for rezoning of the tract of land located on the corner of Holly and Elm. Larry Dowden. Don't see anyone getting up. Huh?
So we have to get the council approval on what land is on here.
Yeah, this is down there.
Oh.
Down there, okay, yes. Public hearing, open, as a public hearing. The City of Overton City Council will hold a public hearing on Thursday, June 16, 2022, at 7 p.m. City Hall, Council Chamber located 1200 South Commerce Street, Overton, Texas, for the consideration of Lance Dutton's request for rezoning two-family duplexes, multifamily, showing lot 2R2-1 and 2R2-6, Block 1 of Hillcrest Edition, a replat of lot 2R, Block 1. Hillcrest Edition is shown according to the plat thereof recorded in sleeve XXX of the plat records of Russ County, Texas. The subject property is on the corner of Holly and Elm, Overton, Russ County, Texas. Staff presentation.
As far as what we got in front of everybody's,
Yep, it's on the backside of it. Yeah, whatever you got from everybody.
so there's planning and zoning met,
Tuesday.
Tuesday night. And y'all will have a copy of the plat and some of the pictures there in front of what he'll build. Be 6 homes and 3 sets of duplexes. And the thing that kind of was in question with some of the neighbors right around the area was duplexes. But planning and zoning looked at that Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, and they approved all that. You'll see that's you all got a picture of what they want to bring, or what he wants to bring here. There's some of the houses, you'll have some pictures of the houses he's got that he'll build. This is like some houses built over at R. And he sold some of them, he rented some of them out, he'll do the same here. His plan is to, sell the, houses and rent the duplex. But more or less, it's trying to get council approval on the duplex here, if you will.
Mr. Mayor, can I add just one quick
Yes, sir.
comment? Under the local government code, if we have, I don't know how many notifications we sent out to property owners within 200 feet of the property that's gonna be rezoned. But, in response to or related to the protest letters that were provided, if 20% or more of the property owners that we sent notice to within 200 feet protest the rezone, then it requires 75% and 3/4 approval of the city council to rezone it. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware. I don't know how many protest letters were received regarding it, but if it's 20% or more of the property owners that live within 200 feet of the residence, then that would require, the council can still approve it. That would require 3/4 of a vote of approval from the council. Given the fact that we've got 3 council members, if 2 voted in favor of it, that wouldn't carry our 3/4, so it would require unanimous approval of the council.
What was given, there were 6 letters given, 1 was unsigned, and
6 protest letters?
yeah, but, Mr. West went and talked with one of them that was, I think, leading the protest, and when he saw the homes that they're talking about building, his mind changed, he said,
And,
he didn't mind. So,
but then the next.
He thought something cheap was fixing to get.
Okay,
But then yesterday, after I talked to him the day before yesterday, then yesterday, he said if he'd have wanted duplexes, he'd have bought a neighborhood that had duplexes.
okay.
So it's just
How many, do we have any idea how many notice letters we sent out? How many people?
6,
That's how many we sent out?
I believe so.
And then how many protests did we get?
Only 5, because 1 didn't protest, what I
Okay.
understand. But, and where these are going in at, they're all further than 200 foot.
The people that protested?
Yeah, there's only one neighbor that would be, and that's the guy that protested, got
Okay.
everybody going. He would be the only one that might be within 200.
Okay, well, that's, I'm glad you made, mention that. So the protest, in order for it to be valid in connection with the 3/4 or 75% approval, it has to be someone that lives within 200 feet of the zone area. You can't just go out and get protests from people around town and then present those. So if we only have 1 out of 6 that's protesting it within 200 feet of the rezone property, then all it would require is 2 votes to approve.
And planning, it went for planning and zoning, and
Right.
if there was what, 4 and 1 against?
Okay.
1 against, 4 for.
Okay, perfect. I just wanna make sure, I didn't know how many protest letters or letters that we sent, so all sounds good.
Okay. Any public comment? Anyone? Okay, we'll close the public hearing now.
Can you, do you make a motion?
Not yet. On down there. On the consent agenda item, include non-controversial routine items that the council may act on with one single vote. The council wishes, they may pull any item from the consent agenda to discuss and act upon individually. Consider and approve the following minutes. That's page 15 to 20. What's the wishes of the council?
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Mr. Williams.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Under the business items, discuss and or act on zoning board recommendations for Hillcrest Edition. This is the edition we just, dealt with the public hearing. You've heard the comments. What is the wishes of the board, or the council?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Mr. Hall. Ready? Motion approved by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Motion passes 3-0. Discuss and act on approval of bids submitted for 3 tracts of land in Smith County submitted by Linebarger and Sloan, pages 21 through 29. Evidently, these went up for sale at one point. They did not sell, and later after the sale, they had some buyer come in and, make an offer on each of them, and you had that in your packets. It was offered on each one, so we just have to act on it if you want to act on it.
Mayor, I'm Bill Webster with the Linebarger firm. and
Okay,
I'm happy
yes,
to
sir.
answer any
If
questions
you-
that
you wanna-
anybody might have.
Okay, if you want
You
to.
said, it was exactly what you said.
Sorry, I saw you sitting there. Okay,
This is a resale property that's been struck off now for over a year. And people have come in and asked to buy it. They've submitted bids. It's been approved by the county and the schools. And I need your approval for the deed to go through.
okay. My assumption is they were put out for bids first and nobody bid on it.
That's
So it's
correct.
coming back and got an offer, so.
Yes, sir.
We can accept the offer or not.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Mr. Williams,
Second.
second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Thank you, sir. Hard to trouble you for all.
What was his name?
What was your name again, sir?
Bill Webster.
Bill Wilson.
Thank you.
She needs it for a record.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming. Discuss and or act on appointing Connie Chastain as interim city secretary. Mr. Armstrong instructed me that, because of mayor, powers of mayor, and I didn't know I had those powers, that I could, appoint an interim city secretary because we were out of one, and we need to stay legal, I guess. So, I took that option, so it's up to the board whether you want to, appoint her. It did need confirmation from the board if and when the board ever met.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Thompson. Do what?
Can you be sure to speak into your microphone?
Motion approved by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Motion passes 3-0. Considering our approved, item D, considering our approved resolution 2022.06.16A to update signers on the City of Overton banking and investment accounts to add a member of the council. Just in case, we don't have very many signers on the board right now, what, and to remind, since Lori's not here anymore, we need somebody else on there. Connie is on there, but she doesn't like signing checks, she prints out. And that's good advice, so we thought about putting Chris Hall on there for right now, because sometimes he has afternoons off. I see him around in the afternoon, I don't know, but he might be able to come by here and sign a check if we need to check sign. If Mr. Thompson's on there, Dan's on there, and I am on there.
Mhm.
That'd be great.
I think so.
Motion approved.
Second.
With Chris Hall?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I will fix it.
Motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 3-0. Approve an ordinance 2022-106.16A, ordering a general and special election for the election to be held on November 8, 2022. Pages 32 through 36 of your packet.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Williams, second by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Motion passes 3-0. Item F, consider and approve a resolution 2022.606.16B, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Russ County Elections for the November 8, 2022 general and special election. There is one correction on page 42 of that, contract. It has, Caitlin Smith's name on there, and we, in y'all's packet, I think, Connie changed it in hers, but it need to be Shannon Brown added there, so with that correction.
Motion to approve.
Okay?
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Item G, consider and approve resolution 2022.06.16C, authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with Smith County Elections for the November 8, 2022 general and special election. This is pages on 52 through 64.
Motion approved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Item H, consider and approve action regarding a single notice of election posting in the newspaper, Tyler and Henderson, that would split the cost. That would split the cost, that was in last year's item, and we believe they will, they may not. Well, I mean, we haven't talked to them, it's too early. This is done about 2 months earlier than what we usually do it, so. But either way, we've got to advertise whether they split the cost or not, so we will seek them to split the cost. What's yours? Who? You? Okay.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 3-0. Consider and approve a resolution 2022.06.16D to suspend Encore SOL 2022 resolution suspension 1-AIS final 051322, proposed effective rate increase date for 90 days. I'm not gonna read that again.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I can explain one thing real quick. It's odd that Encore is asking us to suspend a rate increase. So the reason that they're doing that is they're actually looking out for the citizens of Overton doing that. If we were to approve the rate increase, as is, then we would get a higher rate from the Public Utility Commission passed on to the citizens. What Encore is attempting to do with all their covered cities is they're asking city councils to deny the rate increase, which would force Encore at that point to go to the Public Utility Commission and actually negotiate a rate. So the end result of us doing the odd thing, or Encore doing the odd thing of asking us to deny the rate increase, the net results of that to the citizens of Overton will be a rate.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes 3-0. Consider and approve resolution 2202.06.116E. This has been Encore's as well. SOI 2022 resolution suspension to resolution Fanel 051322. It's page 68 through 71. I believe, didn't we actually suspend this? Back in March, it was several months ago, that we actually suspended this, and they gave it 9 days to look it over that time.
I don't recall that, and I may not have been at that meeting, but I know,
at that meeting, but
I may not have been, but I know that, the suspension has gotta be extended up until, I think, July. I don't know what the date on the resolution is, but I know in July, Encore will go to PUC and start negotiating it, right?
okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion passes 3-0. Discuss and or take action on the request by Overton Volunteer Fire Department to raise call-out and reimbursements from $5 to $10 per call. Mr. Lewis, did you want to speak on this, or you just want us to go forward with it?
Do I need clarification on it?
Don't need clarification from me. Hey, in my book, it's not enough anyway, with the way the gas price is going up. Most of you guys run pickup trucks out there, so.
I mean, I'll make it clear. Gas
Yeah.
prices are what, $4
Yeah.
a gallon now? Your guys getting $5 a call.
Yeah.
They're volunteers, they don't have to call.
This, is actually paid out of fireman's fund, it's not paid out of the city anyway, but we had to agree to it, so.
Motion to approve motion to raise call-out reimbursement from $5 to $15 per call.
15?
Yes.
So
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
10,
Sir,
10.
did y'all vote on 10, is that what?
That, all we want is 10.
Okay, 10.
Okay. Hey, you're trying to give you a raise before you got your raise.
Well,
Okay,
I've only got $50,000 from the city to work with. If I give it to everything else, we still have
okay.
fuel.
Motion made by Mr. Thompson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hall. To raise it $10 per call. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Motion passes 3-0. Discuss and take action on OMDD motion to adjust the bylaws for the election of chairman and vice chairman. Mr. Alexander may want to speak on this part. And basically, they're changing it from 1-year elections. You want to speak on it?
I think you missed two things. You missed
I
L
don't
and
remember
M.
L.
We pull those.
Hmm?
We pull those. The preliminary budget
We
and
pulled-
the no new
we've got
revenue.
an agenda packet that's a little different than yours. I'm on number L. Anyway, we're on yours. or mine? Let me see your agenda.
Those were the two we pulled,
Okay,
or I got them out of order or something. So,
we're on yours anyway. We're pulling two items on the agenda because we're not ready for those, so.
All right,
Go ahead.
name's James Alexander, 306 East Madison. I'm the chairman of the OMDD board. What we have already done is set it to where there is even balance of transfer of power. With the way our bylaws were reading before, it would require us to replace our entire officers' candidates in one city every year. By doing it the way that we're doing it, we are changing it from everybody at once to one on this year, one the next year. But it required that the chairman and vice chairman sit for 2 years total each. That's my clarification.
Okay. Basically, before it was 1 year, right? And
Yes,
now
sir.
it's 2 years, and like the chairman.
2 years with an
I may
offset.
get them backwards, one's gonna be on odd years, and one's gonna be on
Yes,
even
sir.
years that you're gonna vote in. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they're just wanting to change the bylaws to accept them for 2 year terms. But they need board approval,
Motion to approve.
okay?
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 3-0. We had an item M on there, and it says before, and ratification vote, no new revenue. Mr. Armstrong, if he wants to comment on this, we cannot work on, do any taxes of any kind, even
So,
without.
yeah, let me
board?
explain that to the council and anybody else that is interested. So under the local government code, chapter 22, because we're a type A general law city, we can only discuss taxes or call special call meetings if we have 4 council members present. So the fact that we have 3 council members present tonight would not allow us to have a discussion tonight regarding the implementation or adoption of a tax rate. So for those reasons, it's been it's my instruction to the council to pull that item from the agenda, table it for a future date. If we can get 4 council members present, then we can have that discussion.
And not only that, we'll talk to the tax people, and we can't act on, no new revenue taxes till after July 25th, till they give us their certified roll. Also, I've been trying to get that passed, but we couldn't touch it, so. Ms. Hill, do you want to talk on that? We struck it from the list. Do you want to talk on it or not?
My name is Denise Hill, and I live at 712 East Henderson here in Overton. Whenever we were thinking that we were gonna talk about the property tax increase, my question was, when will the homestead exemption for the taxpayers be added onto the agenda and voted on by the city council so that we can get the homestead exemption applied to a portion of our city taxes? As I understand it by Russ County Appraisal District, Overton is the only city in the county that does not allow the homestead exemption to be applied to a portion of the city taxes. So in a time where everyone is being taxed and paying more at the pumps, and we're given stipends and water rate increases and all these other things, is there a moment in time where this will be put on the agenda and voted and passed so that the citizens can get a tax break?
Mr. Armstrong, does that also include 4 members on even homestead exemption?
Yes, because we're discussing a measure that would affect the taxes of the city, what the city would ultimately collect in taxes. We would need 4 members of the council here before we do that.
So unless we get 4 members on the council, we cannot vote on that or any other taxes.
Okay, well, I know that this was brought up back on April 18th, and it was requested to be put on the agenda whenever we did have a full council. That's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say is, so at that time, that we do, in the event have 4 council members. I'm asking that that be put on the agenda at the same time so that that can be addressed. Is there a reason why that can't happen? Can I not request it to be put on the agenda at the same time?
Can do it that early in the year, or do you have to wait on them later in the year?
No, actually, I mean, I'll double check this, but I believe for us to pass a homestead exemption, it's gotta be done by July first
Okay.
for this year.
Okay.
So I don't know that we could even pull that off at this point, but I would have to double check that. I would say that at some point in time, we're gonna place that item on the agenda. If you all wanna reach out to me, I can verify that date requirement, but I do believe we have a July first deadline to get that done.
Okay, so even if it's past July 1st, 2022, can we still not put it on the agenda? Because it's my understanding that that does not have to be brought before the citizens to be put on the ballot, that the council can, in the event that we have enough and all the stars line up.
Sure, it's a council action.
So can we have that done at that time, whenever it may be?
Sure,
So you
I
might have a
don't
problem with
set, I don't set the agenda, so it's,
How would
sure.
you get 4 councilmen before November?
Well, that's our
That's what we're
next,
looking
that's
at.
our next item on the agenda.
Request.
So can we get that put on the agenda at that time?
We can consider it. Just to let, since we're on this item, I did get an email back from the police department, our tax assessor, Rush County. I will let the citizen know, as we've said before, you cannot vote on the rate until the roll is certified in July, July 25th. Knowing that you cannot vote or meet your deadlines, your rate, that's if we don't have enough call for an election, to set a rate before November. Vote or meet your deadlines, your rate will be set at last year's rate or this year's no new revenue rate, whichever is lower. And said we can talk to our city attorney for any other information. That's the latest word I've got. So we were planning on a no new revenue rate anyway, so whatever. Discuss and take action to authorize city attorney to seek judicial relief regarding resigned council members. This is item M on mine, of the whole, and the holdover doctrine. Mr. Armstrong, I'll turn that over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief. So, when this is normally explained to people, and to council members, there's a little bit of shock because the Texas Constitution actually has a provision in it that requires any elected official that resigns, which includes a city council member, to continue to fulfill their duties until such time as a fulfillment or someone fills that seat by either election or by appointment. The reason for that is pretty simple. Way back when that provision was adopted, I think the legislatures in Austin did have the foresight to understand that we can't stop government, that government has to continue to operate, that we can't have a vacuum in government. And so in a situation that we find ourselves in now, we very likely could have 2 council members, which would put us in a position where we could not have a council meeting. So government would stop. So under the holdover doctrine, Mr. Thompson is here tonight pursuant to the holdover doctrine. His resignation is final, it's been accepted, his seat is considered vacant. However, he is fulfilling his duties under the holdover doctrine here tonight. So what I'm asking the council for approval is moving forward until November. I believe it would be prudent, I believe it would protect the council to seek a judicial order from a judge in West County and ask that judge to apply the holdover doctrine to hopefully seek and get an order that would require the resigned council members to fulfill their duties under the holdover doctrine. That's important for 2 reasons moving forward. One, the reason that we're here tonight, to hold a simple, regular meeting. But 2, we're getting into budget season. We just had an item on the agenda that we could not discuss because it involved taxes. So there are going to be, as part of the budget process, meetings that will need to be had to discuss a tax rate, the implementation of the tax rate, and the adoption of the tax rate. For those reasons, we will need 4 council members here to have those meetings. So for that reason, Judge, I would ask the council to allow me to, seek relief from a Russ County judge for the reasons I just stated.
What is the wish of the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion approved by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 2-0.
2-1.
2-1, excuse me, 2-1, sorry. Thank you for the correction. Future meetings, upcoming meetings and events. Next city council regular meeting will be July 21st. May receive requests, if any, for leave of absence from any council member for future meetings. Unacknowledged. Administration monthly reports. First of all, is the city manager's report.
Well, we've been just a little bit busy to make a report up, and, with our council in limbo, we, not really know where we stood here, so. We've got a little bit, as far as, our courts and our finances and all that, but that's just kinda in limbo on all that right now.
Okay. Mr. Poole, you have anything for the police department report?
Mayor, council, the only thing I would like to say is, in the wake of the Uvalde incident, I have been in contact with our local school district, and I do intend to engage in conversation this next week with the superintendent, and at some point in the near future, I believe, and I won't speak for him except for what he has told me himself, I believe it's gonna be their wishes as well as mine to place a police officer in the Overton School District, through the Overton PD, meaning, they would work for Overton PD, and be assigned to the school, and the school would fund a portion of the salary and benefits. So nothing formalized at all, but I do want y'all to know the direction that we're trying to head this thing in. I think, I don't think anybody will argue that, our kids are precious and we need to do all we can do to protect them.
Public Works. Haven't been working on very many lakes, but we got some leaks lately, well, when they come fast, so, and let you know that 2 of those were hit by, construction crews, one out of, Smith County.
Well, the state of Texas.
State of Texas, okay. And the other one was hit by, one putting in a sewer down on South Street.
Actually, that wasn't hit, really, that was a sewer line laid right directly in line with a water line in the same ditch, and then they dumped a truckload of concrete on it. When you dug one up, you got both, whether you wanted it or not.
Yep, so,
We learned we had a water.
sorry about the situation, but, I guess it was what it was when they hit concrete. Christus or Francis? Yes, sir?
I was just, gonna give you the report, from last month. I'm sure I'm not loud enough, I don't think that speaker. We have 50 calls in the city limits of Overton. Last month, our average response time was 11:58. We only had one life emergency. The response time for that was 2 minutes 57 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Open volunteer fire department, have any updates, or you wanna say anything? Barry?
First off, thank y'all for the raise. Chance with me. Trust me, if it goes any past that, something else is gonna do without. Everybody knows it's getting hot, it's getting dry. Get ready, you're probably fixing to go under burn bans. And that'll be through Russ County, so there'll be no burning. Everybody knows we was at the Kilgore Fire the other night from about 7 o'clock till 6 o'clock that next morning while y'all was fixing water. We was distributing water on the building, so. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet, no wrecks. Couple of grass fires. Robert was supposed to be here to speak about all this, so I don't know what all we had. I don't know where he's at, in case something happened to his wife or something, I don't know. But, other than that, it's been pretty quiet, everything's running good. We've got a couple other things in the works, so I'll keep y'all posted on that. Anything?
Thanks, sir. I do wanna read this letter. This is, from Robert Wall. This letter is to inform you that of June 30th, 2022, I, Robert Wall, will be retiring as chief fire department, and is an active member of Overton Volunteer Fire Department. This has absolutely nothing to do with other events that have recently taken place in the city of Overton. Governing body, some of you know that I suffered a heart attack with 5 bypasses August 1st, 2017, and my wife has recently undergone treatment with cancer. We both are getting better as a result. I decided that after 47 and a half years of serving this town and its citizens, as well as the surrounding area of both Rusk and Smith County, that it's time for me to take some time off to do things that we want to do. I began serving as a junior firefighter when I was turned 16 years old. Although I was riding on fire with my dad at a much younger age, I have served as a junior firefighter, captain, training officer, certification officer, assistant chief, and now chief. I served as a volunteer instructor at Texas A&M Fire Training School from 2000 to 2017, and I just returned from down there on previous Friday when I had my heart attack on Tuesday. It has been an honor and a privilege to help the citizens of this great city and the surrounding area for all these years, but I'm getting too old to play the game any longer. I'm sure I'll miss it, but I have missed the actual firefighting for the past few years now. I hope you all will continue to work together to make this city as great as it once was. I have spent my entire 62 years here and would not want to live anywhere else around here. Sincerely, Robert Wall.
Mayor, now that Robert Wall has made it public about him and his life, I'm not on the department, but I'm married to Ted. Y'all please keep them in your prayers. They're doing better, but they need all the prayers they can get.
And on that, next Tuesday night at the firehouse, if he's not here, we're having a surprise retirement party for
No,
him.
28th,
The 28th.
28th at 7.
The 28th at 7, y'all all come and support him. It's a surprise, so he doesn't have a clue.
Hopefully he doesn't watch.
Oh, he won't hear from us, will he?
Hopefully he doesn't watch this.
Do we have anything on municipal court?
Yes.
Oh,
So a lot of y'all don't know me, but my name is Catherine McCandless, and I'm the court clerk for the city of Overton. I joined the team in February this year, so just about 5 months ago. And I just want to give a quick update on where we're at as far as the court fund. From where we were at this time last year to where we are today, there's been a significant improvement. So just in the last 4 months, the court has generated about $24,900 in revenue. That's just in court citations, city ordinance violations, just court payments. And I think that all of that is a direct, it's just from sending out violations and notices and following up and just keeping the process going as far as the court goes. I also think that, I enjoy being here, working in Overton as a team with you guys. I think working together as a team is a key part in the growth of Overton. And so, it is getting better, it has improved. I have records here, reports that I've ran that you guys don't have, but I have them if you ever wanted to look at them or see them. So, big improvements are
Yes,
happening.
it is.
So, I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that. It was financial, monthly reports. I'll turn it over to Ms. Connie. You have anything? Or you just look at it?
Not a lot of a thing. I have the paperwork in the folder. Sales taxes have gone up since last year, month to month. This year, our deposit, or for this month, our deposit was $35,668.92 for sales tax. We're paying the bills, we're paying them on time. We still have almost, like $170,000 in the bank that's above the grant money of $310,000, which we still have not touched. So we have money in the bank now, slowly growing, kind of fluctuates with the bills, but it's still there and it's growing. Bank statements are included in the packet. Other than that, I really don't have anything.
Improvements. We're maintaining the budget. So that's
Yep,
good.
yep. Let the councilman know, Connie is already working on our budget, and she had about 3/4 of it.
I'm
done,
rocking through, but I'll take all the help I can
but
get.
She was trying to get it out for the night, and I told her, don't press yourself because of everything else she's having to learn right now, so everything going good. You have anyone have a question for Connie before I go on? You have the boards and commissions, and I'll just give these to y'all so y'all keep up with what, they are acting on. The OEDC